Boo! Hello! And welcome back to Kiro's Workshop. And if this is your first time here, hello new stranger. Yes, it is time. Time for our annual Halloween collaboration. You know the gig, artists making lots of Halloween-inspired creatures. Just for you! This year, I am honored to collab once again with some of my favorite artists. So grab your favorite candy, stay home, and get ready for this spooky marathon. Today's canvas will be a Spectra monster idol. I really love the face mold of this ghoul. I began by tracing the eyes off camera, and now I'm contouring the face with gray pastel. You know that I love creating concepts for my dolls, and this is not the exception. For today's project, I'm creating an evil entity based on the 9 circles of hell from the Divine Comedy. She will have a humongous headdress, so I'm focusing the attention underneath the eyes. With red pencil, I am drawing some veins and later blush the area with red and pink pastel. For the lips, I want to keep it simple, by giving her black popsicle lips. The eyes will be completely white with some veins, and I'm adding some black shadow. I said the attention was going to be down, but I don't like leaving stuff halfway. And yes, basically that's the face. Now time for some body mods. I wanted to give her this League of Legends girl kind of body, so I'm making her chest bigger with epoxy clay. They say that you need to work this stuff with gloves, so please ignore the fact that I'm ignoring the recommendations and put on some gloves. Remember, smoothing the clay with water helps the sanding process later. Also, there are a lot of plastic and metal tools to model this kind of stuff, but I use a wet brush, and it is very handy. Just remember to clean it up perfectly after, or else you'll end up with a fancy looking chopstick. I am molding some spines on the back. Once everything is hard as a rock, I'll sand it down, color match, and shade everything with pastel. To tone it down a little bit, I'll use white pastel on top of gray. Now, spoiler alert, a lot of things changed during this creation. To finish the body mods, I'm using my Dremel to carve a hole on the heel. This will serve as a base for my heels later. I'll also use my manual drill to make 2 holes where the toes are. We'll leave the doll aside and work on her scepter. First, I'm using these hands from an Ever After idol and chop off those fingers and watch them disappear. Literally, because they flew away and I don't know where they ended. Now with my drill I'll carve some holes and add wire later. Insert the wire. And this is how they look now. Next part, I'm using this beautiful Barbie head and give it a Bozena treatment by filling it with aluminum foil. Please remember this smiling face, you'll miss her later. Sending these ears via FedEx for Dollmotion's collection. And girl, you won't need that nose where you're going. And then, pour that hot glue until I burn my fingers. Once it cools down, I'm making a Hannibal Lecter move by exposing the glue and foil brain. And fill the spaces with more glue. And if all of this wasn't enough for our lovely friend Barbara, I'll also remove the lips. And now, time for our friend Epoxy to make its magic again. I'm going to pop out those cheekbones, redefine the jaw, give her an extreme rhinoplasty, and create the eye sockets. Now, let me tell you something about molding with epoxy. It is hard. Period. Next. As I still need movement on the fingers later, I cover the wire with hot glue. And as I planned the skull to look like a gemstone, which I failed terribly, I cut the face and glue with facets. First, I'm painting the hands and the complete skull with black paint. I want the gem skull to resemble a ruby, so I'm painting it red. The hands will be golden, but I change that later. Now, here's the funny part about trying to achieve a crystal look with paint on plastic pieces. It is harder than molding, period. So, after being a complete crybaby with my friend Val from Valkyrie's World, she told me to play with the colors on the facets, some needed to be lighter than the others. And also, I used some white paint to mimic that shine on the crystal. At this point I felt like my skull was very dark for a ruby, so I painted it again and covered it with gloss varnish. And here's Barbara again, in all her glory. I'll glue the hands in place and start adding more details to the scepter. like these tiny skull beads. Later, I'll add some kind of goop covering the skulls with glue. I'll paint the goop and the bamboo skewer black. And dry brush the skulls with a mixture of yellow, sand, and white paint. Later, with a wash of black paint, I'll pop out the details on the skulls again. And change the golden hands for skeleton ones. Scepter done, now time for the dress. I made a pattern using tape. Transfer it to paper and gave it a geometrical train. Cut it out of black tulle and sew it off camera. And it fits like a glove. I'll glue on this golden bra I made the moment you blink and totally missed it. And I need the dress to stay in place, so I'll glue on some nail decorations on top of the tulle and the body. I wanted this dress to have a lot of leather scales, so I spent hours cutting them one by one. And sew them on the tulle. And this was the moment when I saw my creation and gagged. I hate it. So much. My designer skills are trembling and disappointed. So I took my skinny scissors and got rid of those ugly ass scales. She's a queen, she needs more sparkle, so embroidered lace will do the trick. I pinned down the pieces of lace on top of the tulle, trying to achieve a gorgeous silhouette. And this was the moment when I realized I took the best decision. Well, not the best decision. That is yet to come in a few more minutes. Now, let me tell you something about sewing embroidered lace by hand. It is hard. Period. The thread always gets tangled on the embroidery and the pins. Change of plans number 16. The bra looks terrible with the mixture of black and white. Here comes the cool part. My friend Alan helped me to model and print a 3D crown. And man, it looks cool. And huge. I'll leave the link to his Instagram account so you can see his amazing work. First, I'm adding some texture with hot glue on the top. Later, paint the top brown. Off camera, I'll paint the tombstones with metallic grey. I'll glue the same skulls that I added to the Scepter, because I have a lot of them. But this time I'll cut them on different angles, and give them the same glue goop treatment. Dry brush everything with lighter brown. Dry brush some details with black. And dry brush number 3 with green. Paint the goop with black. And off camera, I'll paint the skulls. Here's the explanation of the crown. It consists in 9 layers that represent the 9 circles of Dante's Hell. Everything underneath the second circle changed color. But since you apparently love watching the struggle and bad decisions, I left the footage. My initial idea was to make some kind of a gradient from the first circle, which is the purgatory. That's why we have all those skulls and tombstones, to the last one. This gradient consists in brown on the first circle, and the closer we get to the core, the colors would get brighter. That would be red, orange, and yellow. It is explained that the last circle is frozen. That circle is where the devil lives, and that's why I painted it blue with a coat of pearl paint. So I finished recording it, I took my pictures, I started retouching them, and then I saw it. Although the idea was cool, all those colors didn't work with the complete doll. From the eyes down, the doll looks very elegant, and the black shiny dress complements her skin tone beautifully. But with that colorful crown, she looks like she took what remains of a beaten up piñata and wore it as a hat. So I painted everything again, took my pictures, and moved on with my life. If you remember earlier, I made a few holes on the feet of this doll. Kinda like when you step on a Lego, but much worse. I'm using a nail to serve as the heel. A permanent and very painful but edgy heel. And in case you were wondering, yes, 2 more nails complete the heels on the toes. And with this, we conclude our Halloween special. I decided to name her Emphra, the creator of all evil. The devil lives in hell, and well, she is hell. Let me know your thoughts on Emphra in the comment section. Don't forget to watch the remaining videos of this epic collaboration that include the work of Anastazia Custom, the Doll Fairy, Dollightful, Dollmotion, Doll's brand new look, Hextian, and Moonlight Jewel. The links to their channels are listed down on the description box. Don't forget to support the workshop by liking this video. Remember that sharing is caring, and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, Hero out!